Hey guys, hello. Welcome to 2020. Happy New Year. I hope you all had brought in the year full of love, laughter, happiness, and all of the really wonderful things. I hope you were able to finish off 2019 on top of the world and are all set for the new year. There's something really special about, I guess, the end of a year, the start of a new one, let alone the start of a new decade. It's pretty phenomenal. And I've absolutely been loving watching back on everyone's memories and everybody's reflections of the last 10 years, their accomplishments. And it's so phenomenal what we can do and achieve in 10 years that we can only imagine at the start. I've absolutely loved seeing all of that. And one of my favorite things is that we absolutely overestimate what we can do in a year and completely underestimate what we can do in 10 years. So here is to wishing you all a very, very wonderful next decade. I'm so excited that you have chosen to join me right now, or at some point you might be looking back on this one, as a way to start out your 2020 on a few little tips on starting the year healthy, but know that you can come back to this at any time. So you might be watching this in June or July and know that there is never a bad time to start. So I personally am all about setting goals. And I set goals all the time, monthly, quarterly, yearly. I love setting goals. I'm not a wait till Monday to start them kind of person either. I love starting new goals and dreaming big on a Wednesday or Thursday. Generally on a Friday is where it kind of seems to happen for me as well. So I'm definitely not a wait till Monday kind of person, or wait till the end of the year, or wait till the start of a new year. But as I mentioned, there's something really special about being fresh at the start of the year. So I'm going to share with you a few tips I have on staying healthy, or starting and then staying healthy. So you can pick whichever of these maybe that you're not doing. You might pick some of them, you might pick all of them. It's completely up to you, but I just want to give you a few ideas that hopefully will help you on your healthy journey. So it's really important to remember that it's the small, consistent things that you do every day, usually the boring things that you do every day, that contribute to overall health, that contribute to creating a healthy lifestyle and one that you enjoy. So a few tips for staying healthy. Firstly, a daily morning routine, a daily evening routine, and then I've got a few extra tips that will help you stay consistent on those weekly basis as well. So again, like I mentioned, these aren't all, snippets of gold. It's really just those things that we do on a daily basis that help us stay healthy. And when there's something missing, it's so easy to go back to. It's easy, these things are easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. So it's important that when they fall off, or when you stop doing any of these things, that you just pick it right back up. You just pick it up, you start again today, you start again later today, you start again tomorrow. You don't have to throw your arms up in the air, give up, and it's all out the window because you didn't do your morning routine on that day. Just start again tomorrow. So, firstly, I'm going to start with a few things of the morning routine. I've got a few notes in, so I want to make sure I don't miss anything. And a morning and evening routine is really amazing for setting your intention for the day. It's going to set you up mentally, physically, emotionally, and whether that's in the evening, it's setting you up for the next day. It's setting you up for a beautiful rest and restore period during the night. It's going to enhance that, all those body functions that are resetting with your circadian rhythm during the evening, and if it's your morning routine, that is really setting yourself up for that day. So for the morning, firstly, get straight out of bed and don't hit the snooze button. So there's a I thought I'd give you a little brief on this one because it's so easy to go, okay, I feel better, put my feet on the ground and get up and go. So the reason for this is melatonin and serotonin are two of our hormones. Now, melatonin is our sleep hormone and serotonin is our happy, get up and go, mood enhancing kind of hormone. Now, these two work opposing each other. So if one goes up, the other's down, vice versa. Now, melatonin works with day-night cycles. So that's why when it becomes nighttime, we start to feel sleepy, it's wind down, and that's our bedtime. So that melatonin kicks in, and that's what starts to make us feel sleepy. Now, using technology of a nighttime, phone screens, the blue lights, anything like that actually suppresses our natural melatonin. So it suppresses our natural hormone that is getting ready to kick in and get us to sleep. So that's why we often hear about not using technology of an evening as much as possible, because that is, or getting blue light blocker glasses. Now, these are my evening routines, but because that is going to they're going to suppress the natural melatonin. Now, serotonin kicks in the mornings with daylight. So if you hit snooze a few times on your phone, you lie around in bed for a little while, you drag yourself up out of bed later in the morning, have a shower, kind of wandering around half asleep for quite a while, that slow killing off of the melatonin means that the serotonin is slowly building up, and then it's not kicking in till late morning or lunchtime for some people, when all of a sudden then, you feel up, you feel awake, and you're ready to start your day. So if we get up first thing in the morning, so whether it's by alarm or whether it's naturally waking up, as soon as we get up, opening the curtains, letting all that natural light in, it's usually quite early. It's usually still dark when I get up in the morning. And if it is daylight, then my husband would probably freak out if I woke him up by flinging the curtains open straight away. But so I actually head outside first thing in the morning. So earthing or grounding is a really amazing way to start your day as well. So I actually, when my alarm gets off, I get up, I head straight outside, feet on the ground, in the grass, so bare feet, wiggling my feet around, take a nice big breath of the fresh air, and wake up with the sun. Now, if the sun isn't quite up, so depending on what time I get up in the morning, my schedule changes slightly. I do try to keep that quite regular though, so I tend to get up around the same time every morning. I might have a shower and then head outside and do that as soon as I see that sun start to come up. So if you can open the curtains, you might not be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or 4 or 4:30 like I am, but opening up in the mornings, opening up the curtains or heading straight outside and letting the light hit your eyes, letting the light, touch your skin, touch your body, and we absorb that. So once we've absorbed that through our lenses, it kills off the melatonin and kicks in your serotonin. So serotonin will start to jump in then. So you can see that instant shutting off the serotonin in the morning is really going to help you to wake up, feel good, feel nice and happy first thing in the morning. So getting straight out of bed without hitting snooze is really going to help you to start your day well. First, the next one is being grateful. So this is huge on, everywhere you seem to look at the moment, it's really big. And practicing gratitude or some form of meditation can really help to set your intention for the day. Now, I don't love meditation as such, but I do like a guided, I guess it's still a form of meditation, but I prefer a guided gratitude or happy or energized or focus or confident or anything like that meditation. There's some really amazing apps out there. I tend to do these ones later in the day or of a night time to head to bed, and first thing in the morning I do my gratitude. So I don't get out of bed until I've until I have 3 things that I'm truly grateful for. So when my alarm goes off, I hit off on my alarm, and then I am truly thinking and really feeling at least 3 things that I am grateful for. And that can be anything at all. So some days it might be for clean water, for warm showers during winter. It could be for experiences that I've had, for people that I've, for people that are in my life, for opportunities, for choice, for, it doesn't have to be for physical things, and it can be really simple. It can be for the sun that makes me feel happy. I love summer, anything like that. So it doesn't have to be really complicated. And at first, when you start doing it, can seem like you're always just being grateful for the same things over and over again. But when you really start to open your eyes, pay attention to the things around you, it will help you to really explore new and amazing things that you can be grateful for. So I like to do this in the morning and in the evening. So first thing in the morning, I lie there, I think, and I feel of 3 things I'm truly grateful for. The next is getting up and having a nice big drink of water. So you've been laying still for maybe 8 hours, however long you are sleeping for. Ideally, I'm getting around 8 hours a night now. Now, if you are still in mumming, I'm only freshly new and not always even out of the night mumming mode. So if you're still there, please know that quality over quantity is so important. So if you're not getting that quantity of sleep, the quality of sleep that you're getting is so huge. So all of these things can really help to contribute to that quality of sleep. Even if you're up during the night, whether it's breastfeeding, whether it's up with kids, maybe sick kids, maybe any kids' nightmares or anything like that, these kind of practices can really help to enhance the quality of sleep and introducing your children to them as well. So often we don't do them because we don't have time or we're not by ourselves and things like that, but involve the children, involve your family with doing these things as well. So Cody loves listening to a meditation every evening now because that's just what he's seen me doing. So having a nice big drink of water is important because you've been lying still for, again, however many hours you've been sleeping for. And whilst we're laying still or reasonably still throughout the night, our tissue becomes dehydrated. So not just us as a person becomes dehydrated, but our tissue, bones, muscles, all our individual body parts become dehydrated as well. So when we're laying still, that hydration is pushed and forced out of the tissue, out of muscles, bones, or absorbed, and is now dehydrating us. So having a nice big drink of water is really going to help you to get moving. It's going to stimulate metabolism. It's going to help with the blood flow. It's going to help with all of those kinds of things. And combining them with the next few tips as well is going to be really crucial. So having a nice big drink of water to start rehydrating straight away is really important. So the next we have is 5 minutes of movement. Now, teaming this straight after you've had the drink of water is super powerful because that big drink of water you've just had is now going to be forced into the tissue, into the bones, into the muscle, and into all of those areas in the body by movement. It's also going to help to flush out any waste products, so stimulate the lymphatic system, so any kind of inflammation and waste product that tends to build up, especially kind of in joint areas that can have us feeling really quite stiff and over time create pain. So having 5 minutes of movement after you've had that nice big drink of water is super powerful physically, but also mentally as well. Now, I will post a few of my 5-minute morning movement routines as well for you following over. I might even try to do those every couple of weeks to pop them in here for you so that you can use them, mix them up. Now, the idea of this 5-minute morning movement routine is really just about moving, comfortable stretching, big kind of movements that are just going to help to stimulate that blood flow, the circulation, get in and around the joint areas. So really think about comfortable kind of movements for you. And these might get bigger or larger. It might become more as you get more comfortable with them. So just keep it really basic, like 2 or 3 squats, some reaching up, some down on the floor, some stepping, some side stepping, and just wriggle the body, get moving after a nice big drink of water. So next, I tend to have a shower after that. So when you shower, it's up to you. But when you do shower or do all of these kinds of things, you already have a morning routine. You just might not be conscious or specific about what that is as such. So, or deliberate in achieving certain outcomes with that morning routine. However, you do already have a morning routine. So I shower up then, and I get oiled up, so face and body. And this is to really enhance health as well for a few different reasons. So firstly, after I have a shower, I get out and I'm oiling up, so moisturizing my legs, body, and then I'm going through a face care routine. Now, I'm incorporating specific oils for collagen repair, collagen renewal, cellular health, all of those kinds of things that are ticking the boxes for overall health. So I'm using things like the Brush face care system that I use at the moment, doTERRA, so you might have your favorite. Anyway, I'm using some yarrow pom, some frankincense, which is well known for its cellular benefits, and usually some fiber as well. So any kind of routine that you're doing with that, just be more aware, be more conscious of what you're putting onto your skin, into your body. This is really about fueling you and setting you up for the future, setting you up for overall health and wellness. So taking consideration to what products you're using. So our skin is our largest organ and it is absorbing more toxins than anything else. So people tend to think about what they're putting in their mouth here and there, maybe not all the time, but you tend to think about what you're putting in your mouth, maybe considering that that's fueling your body, but we don't always consider what we're putting in our skin. And this is where we're absorbing some of the biggest, largest and most amount of toxins, which are then laying dormant in the body and contributing to chronic illness and pain, inflammation, all of these kinds of things later on, which can be really hard to problem solve back. So really paying attention to the kinds of products that you're putting onto the skin to eliminate toxins as much as possible. So that's the first reason for that. The second, so firstly to enhance health. Second, to minimize, reduce, and eliminate the toxins within the body. And the third is self-care, self-love, and really, again, just being deliberate about your intentions when you're taking care of your face, when you're taking care of your skin, when you're moisturizing up. We just tend to forget that that simple process is a form of self-love and loving on ourselves, and that is really important. So taking a few moments to really be deliberate and thinking and purposeful about that can really set your intention for the day too. That can, help you feeling confident, empowered, powerful. Just being mindful of those few things can really help. Now, setting up a nice big drink bottle the night before to take out and about on your adventures for the day. Now, I'm all about prepping the night before as well. So I like to have my nice big water bottle filled up in the fridge, ready to go. I add in a couple of drops of whichever oil I want to do for the day. So generally it's either green mandarin, lemon, or Smart and Sassy. Smart and Sassy if I know I'm going to need that bit of an energy hit. It's going to help pep me up. It's going to wake me up, especially first thing in the morning. Liver for any kind of, lemon for liver support to help the detoxification process. Green mandarin tastes absolutely amazing. It's also really high in limonene, same as lemon as well. Or if I've got that scratchy throat or feel like my immune system is taking a bit of a hit, then I'm using wild orange, because wild orange got some amazing antiseptic, antibacterial benefits. So I've got that in the water bottle, and I've got the wild orange going if I need that little bit of an extra immune boost. So just a couple of things that I add to my water to help support metabolism, liver function, all of that. Now, also, I am going to, so I set that up the night before. I was just checking because I've got another note later on. So I'm generally setting my water bottle up the night before so that I'm not rushing around in the morning. So whether it's a day I'm coaching or it's a day that I'm doing kid runs, so Matt and I tag team between the days. So I tend to still get up at the same time of the morning, but my mornings with the kids are definitely a little more rushed and making sure they are sorted because we never know how they're going to wake up. And so I have those things prepared, ready to go. So I try not to get halfway around my errands and I forgot my bottle of water or I forgot my smoothie or something like that, forgot to take my supplements. So I get all these set up the night before, ready to go first thing in the morning. So the next is taking any supplements. So if there are any preferred supplements that you like to take, we personally take magnesium on a daily basis. It's one of those nutrients that is just really hard to get enough of naturally from our fruit and vegetables. So we eat organic where as much as possible, but we're just not eating that organic food fresh from the dirt anymore. The nutrients in the dirt and in the soil is massively depleted from many times ago. So magnesium is one that we take on a daily basis. We also take the Lifelong Vitality supplements. Now, they're a doTERRA one as well. But in this, we've got a food nutrient complex, a cellular complex, so that's all fighting free radicals, loaded with antioxidants, all of the deep cellular support. Food nutrients is all those extra vitamins and minerals that we're not quite getting from food. And then an omega. So the three of those are included in the Lifelong Vitality. So the omegas is your brain function, your fish oils, all of that. So that's what we're taking. So I'm taking the Lifelong Vitality, so those three in the morning, and also a probiotic that we take as well. Every now and then we might do a gut cleanse where we might just add in a Terrazyme or a GX Assist, which is just loaded up with some extra gut healthy digestive enzymes that are going to help to support the body as well. But we usually do that or maybe every couple of months, maybe just as like a 30-day replenish the gut flora. So I'm not going to go a whole bunch more into that because there's all the other things we do to support that. So fermented foods and kefirs and all that kind of stuff as well. But that's a whole other topic. So then we've got, on top of the morning routine, I like to have a smoothie in the mornings and not necessarily every morning. Depending on if I'm fasting or not, but I tend to have a smoothie anyway, done up, ready to go, because then I'll have that later in the morning as a morning tea or before I have some lunch so that I'm really making up those nutrients on the day that I'm fasting. But on the days I'm not fasting, then I'm having a smoothie first thing in the morning. Now, these I make the night before as well. So that way, if the kids are waking up a little bit later, I'm not waiting for them to wake up to blitz it in the thermo. I've got it ready to go. So I'm making those up the night before as well. Sometimes I'll make a really big batch. Yes, ideally, you're going to have the most amount of nutrients if you're doing it straight away and drinking it there and then. But you're also going to be loaded up with nutrients by doing it the night before and having it in the morning, opposed to not. So I am really focused at the moment. One of my focuses is getting more vegetables into my diet. So I feel like I eat as much as I can. But I do feel like I need that little extra boost of those. So I like to make up a smoothie, and my smoothies have got everything in them. Sometimes they taste amazing. Sometimes they don't work out to taste amazing, but I know the nutrients are there, so I do it anyway. So I'll drink that anyway, but usually 90% of the time they turn out amazing. I'm adding all kinds of things, adding the super greens, beetroots, all the colourful vegetables, some carrots and broccoli, some spinach, some kale, some cucumber, some apples, stone fruit, whatever fruit's in season, I'm loading it up, topped with coconut oil, and we are good to go. Usually some extra collagen and stuff too. Awesome. So smoothie, I have it made up night before, so I can grab that out of the fridge in the morning and I'm ready to go. Now, in the mornings. Oh, one extra thing that I like to do as part of my morning routine is in the car on the way to work, I like to listen to podcasts instead of the radio. So personal development, personal growth, whether it's health or fitness related, whether it's business related, whether it is motivationally orientated, whatever I feel like listening to in the morning, is usually a podcast of some kind of personal development time. So when I'm solo, I really like to listen to podcasts. If you're interested in anything specific, please reach out and I'll fill you more in on those, the kind of podcasts that I'm listening to. But really, it's really is a whole range depending on what my focus is for that week or that month or what cycle I'm in, business, family, all that kind of stuff too. And if it's a morning I'm dropping the kids off, try to get them to talk. So as much as possible, we have a chat about the day, what to anticipate for the day, what I'm up to for the day, so that they can really understand. And I don't know, I like them to kind of know what I'm doing throughout the day as well. So it's not that mum just goes to work. It's, the kind of clients that I have, the kind of work that I'm doing. And I don't just talk to my kids about me. We're definitely talking about them for the day, but I really like to be open, questioned with them as well. And we're already at the stage where I'm getting, not much. So if I start a conversation, then it starts to generate the curiosity for the day as well. Some mornings we talk about what they're grateful for, what they're looking forward to, all these kinds of things as well. Okay, so there are a few things as part of the morning routine. Now, I feel like that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. That whole kind of process of getting out of bed, taking a few minutes to be grateful, having a nice big drink of water, 5 minutes movement, jump in the shower, I'm oiling myself up, I'm hopping out, I'm grabbing my supplements, I've got my water, my smoothie there, and I'm getting the kids' breakfast ready, lunch boxes, or I'm just chilling, out on the mornings with all of that stuff ready to go on the days I don't have to do kiddie runs and I'm heading straight into work. So, evening routines. A couple of tips of these. So this one's much shorter. I really like to have an evening routine. So we give nighttime routines to children, and then they kind of tend to drop off, and we don't have them for ourselves. But we know how important they are for children, how much better they sleep when. For my kids, it's having a bath. We do a little massage with some oils. We get in our jammies, read some books. Head to bed, set up the diffusers so they come around. We set up their diffusers with their oils and getting that set up, and they're hopping into bed. So I know how much better they sleep when they have their routine. And it only makes sense that we're going to sleep a whole lot better when we have a really good bedtime routine as well. So firstly, everyone's might freak out about this one, and it's going around everywhere, but it is so important, and it can really. There's some huge benefits to it on top of the benefits of itself, which is switching technology off as early as possible, ideally 2 hours. But if you can't do that, switching off technology as early as possible before bedtime. I've got or incest here, but I meant invest. Just thought I'd share with you my spelling errors on my own notes. Invest in some blue light blocker glasses. They're not hugely expensive, and wearing them, I think they're a bit more attractive these days, is going to block out the blue light, which is the specific light that suppresses your melatonin. So that's what suppresses the natural sleep hormone melatonin. So you can get some of those blockers, blue light blocker glasses, if you really feel the need to be on technology late in the evening. So ideally, limiting that as much as possible. Now, when you actually start to do that and realize that sitting around having conversation with your partner or family, reading books, can be super amazing. So whether you're a fiction or non-fictional person, it is really enjoyable then to really start to create other personal development habits, or calming, relaxing kind of habits that you can invest in. So whether it's taking that time then that you think you don't have time, especially for my mums, if you think you don't have time, but the kids go to bed and then you're sitting on socials for, which can seem like a rabbit hole. You think it's 5 minutes, next thing, 45 minutes later, you're still scrolling through socials. This can be a really powerful time to relax, wind down, get to know your partner all over again, or get to know yourself all over again. Take the time to moisturize your body then, or really wind down, do some self-love, all of that kind of stuff. I take the process of setting up the diffusers. So I tend to do my kind of bedtime routine with the kids. So we're setting up the kids' diffusers. We head in, set up our diffuser. I've got a water bottle next to my bed that I like to set up. The kids have their water bottles to take to bed. So we really set up that bedroom environment to be ideal and conducive for sleep. So we really want to optimize sleep. So you need to optimize the environment in which you're sleeping. So environment dictates behavior, and it's huge. If you can manipulate or create or manipulate that environment that you want to create a behavior in. So whether it's, moving more, you're going to create an environment that's conducive to that. So for sleep, we want to create a really beautiful sleeping environment in the bedroom. Gratitude, so do my gratitude diary of an evening as well. So never go to bed without thinking and really feeling 3 things that you're grateful for. So you can get some really amazing gratitude diaries as well. I actually got mine from Kmart. I don't have it handy, but it's in the bedroom, not in the study. So I have it in the bedroom, and I love this one. It's a guided one, and it's got 3 things I'm grateful for, things I'm going to let go of. Now that's a big one for me because I tend to go over and over things in my head. So things I'm going to let go of, something I achieved today, something I love, a few questions like that. So it actually prompts you to fill it in, so you don't have to go too overboard thinking about it. So that's really going to help you to finish the day, wind down, load yourself full of love before bed. And of course, then once I've put the kids to bed, I'm doing my kind of the rest of my wind down routine, which is then having a shower, my nighttime skin routine. So the skin routine stuff is kind of a lot newer for me, like in the last 12 months to 2 years, I suppose. I've never really been big on skin routines or looking after my skin and things like that. But as I'm getting a little bit older and I've got these beautiful little fine wrinkles from smiling all the time, it's definitely taken a little bit more of a priority for me. And of course with the sleep deprivation, since having kids, black eyes, the wrinkles, all of those kinds of things. So it's definitely a lot bigger of a priority for me, and I do wish I had been doing it earlier. But I really take the time to make that about my self-love so that I don't have, necessarily 200 different routines, but you can condense them all into, just a couple where you're ticking a few boxes at once. So I'm getting my self-love, I'm enhancing sleep. The oils that I'm using on my face at the nighttime are a lot more calming, sleepy kind of oils. So I'm getting still the collagen and skin benefits of that, but I'm also getting the breathing in the calming benefits of those specific oils as well. So that's going to help to enhance sleep. They're my evening routine ones. If you have any others, I would also love to hear yours. So I'm sure some of you have some really awesome ways that you wind down. So, your morning routines or anything like that might include more of affirmations or incantations or anything like that too. So I'd love to hear from you about yours. I've got last couple of tips that I'm going to do is a couple of weekly tips for setting yourself up for health. So they're your daily ones, morning and night. Now, these are a couple of weekly tips for really setting yourself up for being healthy. Now, again, they're nothing new. They're kind of those refresher type ones, but honestly, they're the things that we are doing all the time that maintain a healthy lifestyle. And when any of these things drop off, a lot of things fall out of whack. Stress increases, sleep decreases, we're not eating as well, we're eating on the run and things like that. So there's a lot of consequences that come from not doing these boring, typical weekly healthy activities. So one is scheduling your workouts. And keep variety. Keep a variety in your workouts. Make sure you're scheduling your workouts and physical activity every day. So physical activity and exercise are two different things. Physical activity is your incidental, unstructured movements that you're doing every day, ideally half an hour. And scheduled exercise is a structured, specific exercise. So whether it's weight, strength, cardio, whatever kind of exercise you're doing, variety of exercise, anything like that. For those local, feel free to head on down to Evo Prime Fitness. You can come check us out. We can help you with the structured exercise program if you like as well. But you've got your structured exercise and then you've got your daily physical activity. So make sure you're scheduling that in because it's so easy to skip out on. It's so also really easy to just get up and do it. So schedule that in. Make time for things that are important and schedule those in as well if you have to. So I have specific days where I really focus on spending more time with the kids. When I pick them up from school, I'm getting as much of my workouts and things like that done earlier in the day. So once I pick them up, and this isn't for everyone, this is just what works for me. When I pick them up, we're going for a bike ride or we're going for a swim. We're doing whatever of those. So we've got their after school now. I have a school kid, activities that are scheduled in, so gymnastics and things like that. But then we've got other activities that I schedule in for us as well that are not structured. So, bike rides, playtimes, things like that as well. So I schedule them in because it's so easy to pick them up at the end of the day and go, oh, it's too hot. I've had a big day. Let's just head home. I don't have dinner organized. So this creates then that cascade of not getting in the physical activity, not eating well. We're going to eat on the run, so I'm not organized with food, things like that. So for us, it's scheduling in. You might not need to do that, so no pressure. I'm just sharing with you how we do it, and that it's okay if you feel the need to have to schedule in fun. Do it. There's nothing bad about that. There's nothing bad about anything. It's just you finding a way to create your beautiful, perfect, ideal dream life. So the next is meal plan and prep. Okay, we're all going to hear this so many times. For me, this is huge. If I have not meal planned, and I have not meal prepped, then it's stressful. My week is stressful. My days are stressful. It's an extra thing I have to think about. It's an extra thing I have to organize. It's extra things that I might need to shop for because I didn't know what I was going to cook, so I might have ingredients. It creates a bit of a whirlwind for me. So at the start of the week, I have mostly just our dinner meals because breakfasts tend to be pretty similar most days. We're either having banana pancakes with some collagen powder and maca powder and protein powder, or we're having some kind of egg scramble with eggs, collagen powder, bone broth, some greens, avocado, sauerkraut, that kind of thing. So they're kind of our two options for breakfast that we usually stick to. Lunches are always leftovers, but my Sunday's my meal plan and prep day. So I plan out what we're having for dinner and the kids' school snacks. So I know that on Sunday I'm making usually a batch of muffins and whatever else it is that I'm going to make. So whether it's bliss balls, whether it's cheeseburger dim sims, whether it's sushi, whether it's whatever else I'm making for them. So that makes it so much easier for me not to have to think or stress about it during the week, especially because grabbing things on the run is never ideal to how we like to eat. Cody's got a gluten intolerance, so we tend to make a lot of things gluten. We do generally gluten-free unless we're out and about. We don't have to think about it. But yeah, so having meal plan and doing my prep. So I generally prep when I'm cooking, when I'm dishing dinner up and I've got dinner on, I'm generally prepping for the next day as well. Or when I'm doing breakfast, I'm cutting up the potato, whether we're having potato chips or whatever, I'm cutting all that up and I'm chucking it in the pan ready to go. So at dinner time, I just chuck it straight in the oven. That's just how I do it. You just need to find what works for you, but meal planning and prepping can be really, really huge for health. So 1, the food that you're actually eating. 2, the stress that's involved with it. 3, this time saving. Time saving is a huge one for me. And how you're doing your food shop. So whether it's doing an online food shop, whether it's doing going to the shops, all of that kind of thing as well. Daily stress practices. Stress is the root of all chronic illness. That's a fact. It's going to mess with your hormones. It's going to mess with everything else that's going on in your body. It's going to create inflammation. It's going to enhance inflammation. It's going to contribute to chronic illness in some way or another. So stress practices are huge, are so important, and it's finding what works for you is also a really important part of it. It's not about, how I can throw out heaps of ideas, and that's for you to pick and choose and try out. Just test them out. I've tested out heaps and wow, this just isn't for me. I'll try something else. Don't give up. Just try something else and find what works for you. The other thing is something that worked for me 5 years ago might not work for me anymore. And something that I tried 5 years ago when I was a very different person, I suppose, it really works for me now. So don't be afraid to go back to things that didn't work the first time. There's always a next time. It might actually work, and sometimes it's the guide that you're using. Finding different. There are so many different people that do the same kind of things, and it's finding someone that you connect with that can really help. So I hope that's helpful for you as well. That is all of the healthy tips, healthy habits that I have for you. Pick and choose what suits you. A lot of them are a refresh, but they really are how we've been able to maintain a healthy lifestyle for a long period of time, not doing things that we hate, doing things that we enjoy, things that we love, and we still fall off the wagon as well. You just jump back on the next day, get right back on it, keep going. It's the things that you do consistently that make a difference, not the things that you do occasionally or sometimes. I'm going to leave you with that. Have an absolutely amazing 2020. I look forward to hearing from all of you soon and being part of your health journey. Bye.